So happy to be here. Melzie, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing real good. Yeah, we were just singing before we went on, so we're all like, dynamite.
Right? Hi, Cindy.
Hi,
Cindy's
Cindy.
always on. Yeah, she's such a good
Yes,
supporter over
Cindy.
there on Facebook. Hello to everyone over on Rumble. Hopefully we're live. It's funny, I don't see the posse yet. So we'll see what comes up. Norma Jean, how you doing? Hi, Arlene.
As always, just wonderful. Expanding,
Stupendous.
understanding, becoming. You need everything that comes with the self-exploration and just having fun as much as I possibly can, and moving the things that keep popping up in my way and understanding them so that way I can move them out and let those continuous new journeys and experiences continue to come on through.
Right. Yeah. So it's that understanding of who you truly are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And a really big conversation lately around center point and having that you have a center point within you where you are always safe. You are always okay. Yeah. And you can tap into that.
I
Melzie,
think too.
share
I
what
think
happened today for you. And add to
well,
that.
yeah. So I have these mesquite stumps that I've been burning and I dig out and then I burn them, and so I was burning them and I'm burning them, and I didn't see this little stump and I tripped over it and twisted my ankle and sprained it, and I kept working on it because I wanted to get the job done. It's just, and I didn't realize it was painful until I kind of stopped, and then I went into the hot springs because I remembered Barbara O'Neill say that there was a guy that had injured his leg, and that they had put it into hot water, really hot water, and then they took it and put it into really cold water. And they kept repeating that, and that the pain level went down like 50%. And then, they continued to do that, I think, the next day or so. And she also talked about using castor oil, that there was this one boy that had broken his arm and they were far away and they couldn't get to a doctor and the boy was just screaming in pain. So they put the castor oil on. So I went and sat in the hot springs. I did opposite of what like people tell you. They tell you first ice it, ice it, ice it. And something told me not to. I remember what Barbara had said. And so I went and I sat in the hot springs and it really started throbbing in there. And I was like, oh boy, I don't know if I did this. I really injured it, and thinking I wouldn't be able to walk the next day. And so I got out and then I iced it and I put arnica. And then I also put the castor oil on it and I wrapped it up. And then I continued to ice it and I fell asleep. The pain all of a sudden went away and I fell asleep. I slept really good and I woke up and my foot is like a little hurting, but I walked on it. I didn't, it's better.
Yay!
Yay!
That's
So I'm sorry that's such a long-winded way, but sometimes it's using your intuition too, because somebody said, no, don't do that. Go to the hot springs, and I'm hobbling over there, and I got in and I listened to, my intuition, and I did it differently. And, maybe it was all of that combined, but it worked.
Yeah, absolutely. Jenna says, awesome. Yeah, it is. It is when you do something different and you don't take on the programming of how things are going to go, because that's how you've been told they'll go in the past, and that
Yeah.
you have that capacity to even claim, oh, I'm going to do this and it's going to be better, which is also telling yourselves, we're good, we got this. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I think that too. A friend of mine here, her name is Sakara, and shout out to Sakara. She gave me the arnica, and she said afterwards, she's like, talk to the water in your body and tell it that you love it, tell it that you're healing, and envision that in this moon and this new moon and all the healing energies. And so as she's here for a little bit, she's going to be going back to Hawaii. But she lives here, and then she lives in Hawaii. So I'm happy to have her here for a little bit. So thank you, everybody who helped me out. Sakara, you're wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. It's always good to have support, right? Energetic support. So
Yeah, it is like someone who thinks like me.
yeah.
She actually saw our show one time when we were in the summertime, and she was so excited. The next time she saw me, she was sitting in the back and she was like, "Can I say something?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't think so, not yet." But because I didn't know, you never know what a person wants to say. So, but I think she would actually be a great guest to bring on sometime.
Absolutely. Yeah, before she goes home, if she's still here for the week. Yeah, or when she gets home. 100%. It's always good to have somebody else's insight. Yeah,
It
absolutely.
is.
Yeah. So apparently the Rumble chat's not working, Norma. It's not you.
Thank you. Many times I went through that trying to figure out what's going on. Is it me? Is it the thing?
Yeah. No, everyone's commenting that it's not working on Rumble. So, all right, we have a wonderful show for you today. First of all, I pulled 3 cards before the show. I did a past, present, and future. And the past card is the 7 of Swords. And I relate that to looking out for ourselves, our own best interests, until we learn to be wiser. So this is us, right? Because you think about a few years ago, it was all, every man out for themselves, or every woman, or I got to do this, right? So yes, put yourself first, but we have now a collective goal. We all want the same thing. And so we're becoming very wise to that. And we've had a few years of learning all about this. And for this particular moment right now, the Hangman comes up. And I've been talking this week a bit about feeling like we're in a pause. It's like this, and it's like this rest time, the calm before the storm. So that's been coming in strong. And then the future card is the sun. And how beautiful is that? Yellow, yes. Vibrant, celebration, everything. Yeah, everything's going to be okay. We also have gone past winter solstice, so now we get more light every day as well. So good reminder about that. But that opportunity when it's this dark and when it's in the winter is a really good time to go inward and to think about what's working for me in my life and what's not working for me and what would I like to shift and what would I like to change. Because with that thought, you're starting to manifest what you do want. So you can write out what you don't want and burn it and give it back to the ether, send that energy out of you, and then claim what you do want.
Like a seed.
Yeah.
Like a seed that's germinating. Seed goes into that winter time, and it's preparing then to burst out and to spring forth, right? So, yeah, I think that.
Yeah, absolutely. So awesome. So if you're over on Rumble and you're trying to post in the chat, you can, but you're welcome to join us Facebook. Over here, there's also YouTube, and I think it's playing on X as well, but I'm not sure that I can see the comments from X. So I can see a bunch of you on Facebook, and I can see some of you on YouTube. So thank you so much for commenting. We wanted to chat a bit today specifically about things to do to shift your energy. There's many meditations that I've done, and they're over on my YouTube channel under my name, and they're all free. You're welcome to check those out. We went and did a Qigong class last week, Norma and I, and it was Norma's first time. Norma, do you want to share your experience a little bit? You're muted.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, no, it was awesome. I've been doing a little bit of Qigong before coming here to Canada to meet up with you, and to be able to get back into it was beautiful because it's about that movement of energy. So that way nothing gets stuck in the body. We're already, we already struggle enough where we're all understanding what it is that we need to do to move that energy, because it's very vitally important. So that way that the body stays healthy, it stays vibrant, it can handle all these shifts and these changes and the many frequencies that have been taking place. Let's just speak to that. So you know, with qigong, it was beautiful, you know, and it doesn't just move energy. What it does is it exercises the body as well, because certain movements and certain ways that you utilize the expression of it, it keeps the body in shape, it keeps it stretched, and you're moving energy at the same time. You're understanding how to recognize each individual organ that's within your body as a specific and of importance as to what its function is, what its purpose is, as far as, you know, how things go with the movement of energy in your chi. So it was very just wonderful to be able to do that and be able to be given the tools needed for certain specific things that, you know, for myself, I burn up, you know, because it felt like I have a furnace within me, and I was able to learn a technique that day specifically to know how to keep those balanced where I'm not too hot and feel like it's like, okay, guys, turn the heat down in there, you know. So
Yeah.
Norma's learning all kinds of things about her body, because I also have her going to an acupressurist who's helped to release the tightness in her back, which has been phenomenal, but also tells her that maybe hot sauce isn't the best thing because it's maybe adding to the overheating.
There's that.
The pitta.
Yeah.
The pitta.
So then my mom gives me a whole package of these mini little taste testers of hot sauce. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Awesome. So good to see everyone.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment on moving the cosmic force, and that this is, you know, in the Temple of Hathor, I think it's Randall, Johnson, did a show on this where he said that if you look at the Egyptians, let me put my tea up here, that they were like, all of them have like a hand movement, you know, like if you look at all of the pictures, they're all in different angles, right? So he says that they are moving the cosmic force, and that each one was in a specific way along with a frequency. So they would probably sing a tone like Om. I'm just saying Om right now because that's one we know. But that makes more sense, doesn't it? That's how they were moving the cosmic force. And then also, I had an epiphany when I was studying this. I saw Moses, and Moses had ancient wisdom of the ancient Egyptians and Sumerians, right? And he had the staff, and he was moving the cosmic force. So what a great example of that we have there. I'm not sure if it's that way or not, but I believe it is. And then there's this instrument that you can play too, that it's not like you're touching chords. You're just touching the ether.
Thermalizer?
That's it, yeah.
I was just looking at that too. That's so funny.
Yeah. So, you know, there's and the last thing is John Keeley. He was an inventor, and he's actually the one who came up with the 369. He preceded Tesla. And so he would make his machines work by either like a hand signal or a sound, or he would put like some type of sign on the wall and the machines would work. So he would interact with the cosmic force. So I think it's just amazing that you know, there's different ways we could do it, but this is one that's ancient too, right? Isn't it very ancient?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it comes back. So this instrument, which is frequency, so you have an antenna and then the base of it, and you literally can play music with your fingers, which is, I hadn't seen it before, and everyone's like, oh, this comes around every 10 years. So I'm like, well, how come I haven't seen it yet? So I just see things when I'm supposed to, right? So yeah, it would definitely be very cool. And yeah, we've got a few people in the chat saying in full rest mode. Yeah, and you know, that's okay. Accept that. Allow yourself some deep rest. You've earned it. You deserve it. And yes, you're going to need it because, you know, we've got a couple more years of energetics even showing that, you know, there's going to be a lot going on. Yeah. So when it's quiet like this, deep rest is always I always encourage that. And a lot of people I find are getting system upgrades right now too. A little bit of cold and flu, just your body doing upgrades basically. Yeah. And different feelings within the body, right? We were chatting with someone the other day who was getting these tingling in her back. And I'm like, oh yeah, that one, I know that one well. It's part of the upgrades because your systems, you're moving energy differently within your body. And then even today when I was at the acupressurist, and she was working on behind my knees and my legs because I gone mountain biking and I was a little snug in a few areas because I haven't been for a while and it's a really specific muscle workout. And I could feel the energy leaving out of the top of my head. I'm like, well, that's new. So once you start to pay more attention to your body and get to know it better, the more and more that you will be able to do so much more. Yeah, it's quite beautiful. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I felt that too with my foot when I was in the hot springs.
Yeah.
I could, like I was sitting there and I felt like it was like pop, and it felt like it came out the bottom of my heel. And I felt it like 3 times, you know, and so I thought that was a good thing, whatever was going on.
Right. And just to allow and accept, but to really pay attention a little bit to it, which is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I think too, to honor, you know, like, to live in the now means to honor that experience of what's happening right now. Right.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going to go around and be happy-go-lucky, and put on a mask that's not real, but it's honoring those moments that we were in at that moment. Like, you know, an injury can change things dramatically for people, instantaneous, and sometimes things are like that. So what can we learn from those change in directions, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then, yeah. Oh, we've got some other good comments. Yeah, sassy. But the top of my head is itchy, activated. That's your crown of thorns, right? And yeah, and then I get pinged all the time too. So it'll be like, like pay attention now. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and things were spinning for a bit. That would not be uncommon either. And you know what that really tells me? It's your body saying, slow down. We did a lot of work last night. Let's just slow the roll a little bit. Yeah, we're always trying to do. We don't need to. Sometimes we just need to be.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Your heart vibrating. We were just talking about the heart before the show and how the heart is not a pump, it's a vortex.
Yes, it's a vortex, I think, generator. And so it's like a wave. It's a single like wave that's wrapped around 7 times. So it actually looks like a vortex, you know, the toroidal field. Isn't that amazing? I think that's amazing.
It is. And it's the same way your veins work. Everyone's like, oh, your heart's the pump and it pumps the blood through your veins. No, it's the muscles around the veins and the muscles and energy around the heart, which the vortex goes both up and down. So it's it's really a double vortex, right? Yep. And so it's massaging, right, energetically, and the same thing's happening for all your veins. Yeah.
And what do we know about a vortex? In the vortex, so the 369, the 9's the phantom beat, right? The 9 is the creation source. So in the middle of that vortex is creation energy.
Norma?
Or
you were going to add something to that?
Oh yeah, no, it was in the massage. It's kind of like it's a levitation. It's a levitating sync, a synchronicity of levitation. It's almost like a fountain of youth, if you really think about it. Because whenever the heart is in rhythm because of the vortex, then what's happening is it's like a massage. But what it is it's a levitation of a massage of levitation. So it's like, you know, you're bringing forth the life as what's being utilized is coming. It's a toroidal itself. You know, my mind is like, I'm seeing so many images because so much comes towards me and it's like trying to explain this. It's like, hey, slow down. You know? So it's like the beauty of the process.
the heart is interdimensional.
Yes.
Because when we're in that 0 point energy, right? If you say it's floating, levitating, it's it's interdimensional, and that's why it's so powerful when we react with our heart, right?
Yes.
Instead of our mind.
Yes. Very much so. Very much so. It's very much of an impact. It's an impactor. It impacts, especially in that in that massage and that levitation. It's like a skipped beat. So it's like if something excites you or something puts you in a place of like scares you or something like that. It's like So it's like, oh, it needs it. This body needs this. So let's give it an impact. So it's ready. And that's where, like, even with fears, that's the reason why it's called the fight or flight, because as your anxiety rises, the heart's like, oh, something's going on. We need to protect. We need to help. We need to do what needs to be done for the body to take care of itself, to keep it safe. So that's the reason why. But after so long, it's like anything else. You begin to wear it down for overly utilization for something you should never stay in. Even
like
deer,
adrenaline.
Right. Even deer know the only time they use fight or flight is when their senses make them aware of something that they may need to run away from. But as soon as they get to the place of what feels safe, they're done. They don't stay there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We'll come back to this comment in a second. We're going to stick on the heart thing for a minute, but yeah, and fight or flight. So, I mean, even when I'm mountain biking, I'll use it as an example because I'm going down I ride up the little ramps, over the rock, and I go down another ramp, right? And I was riding with someone who'd ridden for 25 years, and he's like, how long have you been riding? And I was like, well, I know these trails well, right? So he goes, you're hauling ass. I'm like, at some point you realize it's actually smoother to go a little faster. And if you trust your bike, because that's what it's all about, and not have a death grip on it, although sometimes that's nearly impossible. But I really work on regulating my heart, because climbing up is always a good workout. But then when I'm going down, I make sure I rest first, bring my heart rate down, and then I just connect and like, let's have an awesome ride. Like, show me what I need to do. Let me know. And if there's any that was near the bottom of, we did a couple long runs, and then near the bottom of the last one, I think I got to call it now. I said, the way I just did those 2 last turns, my body's telling me you're done. And so listen to your body, right? Like those were easy turns, and I almost bit it twice. So I'm calling it now. Before, normally I would have pushed myself to keep going, right? Oh, we got a few more runs in us. And then eventually something does happen. So yeah. So just connecting with the body and realizing that, to honor all of it, to honor your lymph nodes, to honor your heart. What does your heart need from you? It needs some connection. It loves having that heart-to-heart connection. When you're sitting and listening to somebody, your hearts actually connect. And if you really hear somebody, they will listen more with you. So it's finding that common ground and getting curious without trying to tell somebody how they should behave or what they should do. Yeah.
Right. Connecting.
Right? Absolutely.
Yeah, connecting instead of advising. I mean, not that advising might not be a part of that, but just listening. Sometimes people don't want to hear. They might not want to hear it. Like I know. Yeah. It's like, I was also thinking how when we're in different states, we can feel our heart, like when we receive a ping, how that can feel, and how that, that your heart needs to heal. Or when you're excited about something, it's like a different frequency. And so Greg Braden talks about, in order to manifest things towards you, whatever you think and you feel, you create. So he says, take your hand and put it on your heart. And then he said, because your mind follows like intention. And so your hand, it feels it there, right? And then to lower your breathing, and then to just imagine what it is that you desire, to just keep lowering your breathing. And in doing that, you're drawing that energy to you. And that makes sense then if it really is a vortexual, cycle that's moving in that cosmic force, that field, it's connecting with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really beautiful to experience it and witness it. So we'll chat a little bit about our toroidal field today. I've got a qigong video for everyone, but let's go back to this comment so we can give her some peace of mind. No,
I gotta see.
I want to speak to that one.
Yeah, go ahead, Norma.
It's not irregular, it's unique. See,
the heartbeat.
Yeah, the heartbeat. We are so taught to that. Oh, if it's not beating this way, it's irregular. No. This is what we have to undo, people.
Yeah.
Everything about you is unique because of you. Okay, so for every uniqueness, there's something that's going to present that uniqueness in its own way. For some of us, it's a heartbeat. For some of us, it's a birthmark. For so forth and so on. So it's very vitally important still to this day, and I'll keep continuing to say it. Use your words wisely, for you are the word first.
That's good, Norma.
Right? Yeah. I just want to congratulate Norma because she's come so far and getting those words out.
I've had a lot of help. I've had a lot of support, so I'm very appreciative.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's chat with this one. Hope I'm not going loony, but purple flames on my wall and swirling colors of the rainbow on my ceiling. Beautiful.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah. You're not going crazy.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. You were being opened up to another gift. The gift of seeing different colors. Yeah. Go ahead, Norma.
No, I mean, you're seeing colors. Your eyes are showing you something. You're seeing from within out. And when you do that, you're utilizing these outside faculties of the body differently. So when you shift your way of how you view self, you shift how you see outside yourself, because you're utilizing the gifts and the tools you brought with you here. And now you're utilizing them to understand, to see the world as it is, to understand what it is you would like to see change about it, because it's happening in here first. And it's like, it's hard because, like I said, words are just like so limiting given the experiences I've been having, especially here in these last almost 2 weeks. It's been such a profound, just up-leveling of the depthness of the understanding that I have come to about self. And we say it's from within, and it is, so to speak, because what we are always pointing out is always about going back to center, going back to where you first began this journey. You first began this exploration. And in that exploration, in that journey, we have a tendency to get a little off path. We have a little tendency to get a little lost. It's just in that, understand that your center is always there, as long as you never lose sight of the pinpoint of the light that you leave yourself in your sight. And then utilizing tools and guides and the things that you bring to yourself to understand, because information becomes knowledge. Once it becomes knowledge, then it taps into the wisdom of who we are, that helps provide us the flame or the ignition to brighten the light, in which is leading us back to our center. So it's a profound job. I'm telling you, it's profound.
Up leveling.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And super excited to say that the Rumble chat is back on for anybody. We got a few comments in there I just wanted to speak to as well. What about itchy palms? Absolutely. These are chakras. All the ends of your fingers are chakras. So really be conscious that you have magic hands, and to treat them with love and respect, to wash them often, because you're washing off the energy. Yeah, absolutely. And to, you can rub them together. And I always just say, activate me, please. And you can, put them on yourself, put them on your ankle. Yeah. Send in some healing. We've all got that. How many,
Yep.
how many people remember their mother putting their palm on your stomach when you have a stomach ache? Or that's what you first do. And if you've got cramps or a stomach ache, right? First thing to do is put your hands there. So intuitively, we actually know. We're less conscious about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're your own healer.
Right? Everybody is a healer. Absolutely.
Yep.
It's good that you guys are sharing all these. So what are some of the tips and tricks, not tricks really, because they're not tricks. What tips might you have that you do to bring yourself back to your center point, to be calmer, or in turn to also maybe activate the body, right? So there's kind of two things going on. I have a pretty standard morning routine that I do of activating my lymph nodes in my body that I learned quite some time ago. And so we can go through some of these things. Yeah. One more comment I want to talk to. So Mar Green is saying, I have very itchy red rash on my right inner arm, left side of my cheek, of my face, in front of my neck. Upgrade. So the skin is your biggest organ. I don't get that it's an upgrade. I'm getting that it's you're reacting to something, whether it's a something in the air or something within the body. I'm getting at something in the air. Is there a new scent or new candle in your home?
Or laundry detergent.
Or laundry detergent. Yeah. Is there something that you've changed? Maybe something you got for Christmas or got before
Or
Christmas.
clothes. It could be clothes too, because a lot of the clothes we wear are not, they're synthetic. And so we can have a reaction to that. So just think about that. Or sometimes it could be milk products too. They can do that.
That's a good point. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's your body saying, hey, something's not right here. So yeah, I'm not getting that. That one's an upgrade right now. Yeah. Yeah. And you can do an allergy test as well. But I think I have a feeling you'll figure out what it is when you ask the right questions.
Yeah, just douse it.
Yeah.
Douse it.
Ask your body. Yeah. Do that little
Yep.
dosing. Yeah. Yeah. And T Creel says, oh, I keep seeing little blue flashes, causes me to pause and wonder every time. Lots of people are starting to see things out of the corner of their eye. Was there something there? I see something, or it's a flash, or even when my eyes are closed and it's dark, I'm like, well, it feels like it's really bright out there right now, and it's not. So lots of little different things going on right now. So do you see how we're all getting upgrades and we're all shifting? And that's another good reason to take that pause and to ask, right? And allow. Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of people are saying the same things. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Angela says, I'm applying castor oil to my chest and belly button. I shut down much of the cue noise as it's no longer seems relevant to my path. Wonderful. What's most relevant is you getting to know you and realizing who you truly are. That is like the most important path for everyone. We all have that same mission, to remember who we truly are and to come back to that. Yeah. And everyone's doing a beautiful job with that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Foxy says, having open heart surgery at the age of 8 months, I've had a really hard time connecting with my heart over the years. You can do it. I trust.
You can.
Yeah. I know you can.
It's just a body trauma.
Yeah.
It's just a body trauma. And it's amazing because when we speak to trauma, there are levels of trauma as there is anything else. And the body has such beautiful memory, especially when you start tapping into it. Trust me. But what we have to understand too is because it holds memory, is also that it stores it. Okay. And in that storage, whenever the body goes through something traumatic, because the body is the child. Okay. The body is the child. And when we come here in the manifested state of child, kind of almost doubled, if you understand what I'm speaking to here, then at that age is very young. And what happens is called body trauma. And so what it is you must find that, that right resonance of the love that you are, because you're that first, to connect back with the heart in a way where the connection is felt. Okay. And it's just a body trauma. It's there. It feels you. It's just know that you must be at first in order to feel it, because you are at first.
And, visualization, going back to that time, and, holding space with yourself when you went through that trauma, and just, speaking love, speaking, telling them that you don't have anything to fear, because that's whatever trauma you're feeling in that. And then, just holding that space of love and releasing that whole process will help that child, that pain, to be honored and acknowledged. And then the emotions will kind of come up, and just talk about them with your inner child that went through that time, in that phase. And at the end, when you're ready, you can, just pour love into yourself. Tell yourself you love yourself, that you'll always be there, that you're always going to take care of yourself, that you don't have anything to worry.
Yeah. And often our greatest gift is that trauma that maybe we went through as a child, that we can connect with it and repair it. And I always say, going back to it like the observer versus living the experience again, come in as the observer. And yeah, absolutely talk to your inner child, 100%. Look at us. We've made it this far. Wow, I'm so grateful. My heart is like, wow, it's still working. I love you, heart. Thank you. Yeah, that big gratitude. Yeah, yeah. I want to answer Sian's question here. And we can't force anyone else to, we call it waking up, but to perceive things in the way we would like them to perceive, because it's their experience and they have free will. And so all you can do is keep leading by example, be a beacon of light of change, that one day they're going to start to look at you a little differently and start to ask questions, right? So definitely people notice the big shift in me, and you seem younger. What are you doing? What the heck happened to you in Egypt? And they notice, because you're shining bright, and I don't let anything drag me down. Nothing. It's like, that's all right. If it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you. Like, I just don't. So just love them where they are, and find a common connection. And ladies, have anything to add to that?
I agree. Yeah. Love them where they're at. And everybody, it's their journey, and how they awaken, it's their journey. So know that I believe things will continue to happen for all of us. So no one gets out of this. It's a process. And just be love, like you said. Shine.
Yeah.
And what I get is also, to speak to this message, is what I get from this is that let's step back and let's understand males and the conditioning they've been put through. A lot of it comes that maybe it's not that they're not awake. Maybe it's that they just don't know how to speak to, the female about what they're going through. The one thing I've come to understand about male counterparts is that they speak to one another, but they're silent when it comes to women, so to speak, because it's already difficult enough for them sometimes to accept some of the things they're figuring out about themselves. And they're going, man, I know this ain't me. No, this ain't me. But maybe it is. So it's a little more difficult for them, because it's like their brains work a little, or their minds work a little different than us women, because just the way that things are, on the conditioning levels is so different. And so I just want to speak to that. Maybe it's not that they're not awake. Maybe it's that they just don't know how to have the conversation just yet. So always come at it as, I await the moment and the time that if there be that chance and opportunity that that a conversation can be had, that a conversation comes about, and that I hear what they are speaking, to listen to hear, so that the words that they're speaking lets me know where they are. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've overheard Norma chatting with a few friends, and yeah, it's quite beautiful to listen to. Absolutely. Because it's another perspective, because we have our own perspective. We tend to go like, this is my perspective. But when you go like, this is my perspective, then you can start to see everyone's perspective. And it's like, that's okay. Everybody's got their own perspective. And Angela, that's beautiful that you're connecting with the, ancient dragons 100%. Yeah, they were absolutely, they are absolutely stunning, beautiful beings. Yeah. And all the history about them is not necessarily the truth. Go figure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's also energy, maybe, that the dragons were plasmic or interdimensional?
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
like rainbows, like riding rainbows.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Frequency. Rainbow's your frequency. Yeah.
So much. So just unfathomable, so much. Believe me. There's so much to this. So much beauty, so much in it. And, it's for everything that we've read about or we've experienced, for every story we've ever heard about. They're beautiful in their own way, in their own right, because they served a purpose. They served whatever it was they needed to serve at the time. And the great thing is as we talk about dragons, as they served their purpose, what happened was they just transitioned or transmuted into something so much more profound, so much more beautiful for us as human beings here having this experience. So it's like, I wish I had this way to be able to put this projector out here for y'all to see what it is I get to see.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Mushrooms always seem to come up in the conversation.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Another version of themselves in God's head said he created us because he was bored. But he was lonely. Yeah. Wanted to, right? The one became the many. So the one became the many, only to come back to become the one again. In other words, to realize that we're all connected. That is part of our mission. Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, you got to love your family where you're at. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Can't force anything.
No, and it's okay if I saw, they think I'm crazy, and it's okay that they think you're crazy.
Yeah.
Just to thy own self be true. Honor your truth.
Honor you.
Honor you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And over on Rumble too, we've got somebody talking about, I found that on body trauma, getting off big pharmaceutical meds after a military parachuting accident, 18 plus surgeries. I have had a massive upgrade in thinking for myself. It took years in awakening. Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely. That's true too, because that's the other thing we want to tap into tonight. So I'm going to post this video for you guys with the Qigong, because we're not going to have enough time to play it, because I think it's really important to have these discussions for you guys. The other one is the microbiome. What is the microbiome? What's in your gut? And it's critical, not just for digestion, not just for fueling the body, but for the way you think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is critical. Quite often, when one's microbiome is off or they have parasites, it can actually really affect how you think. Depression, anger, right? Sadness. It can really do a number on you. So how do we feed the microbiome? The quickest and easy way to remember is fermented foods. I would say that would be like the number one thing. I eat sauerkraut 2 or 3 times a week, for sure. Absolutely. I make sure I drink a lot of water. Oh, and my magic drink. Yep. My magic drink's important to me.
we used to make something called kvass, and you would grate, you had like a root or beets. Sorry, my
Yes.
mind was like seeing it, and I couldn't say it. Like you'd put beets in there, and then you'd put a little bit of fermented juice on top of that with some water, and then in a day you would just take a little bit out and drink that, and that pulls from the root, and it ferments it, and that's a good way to get them into your body as well. And sauerkraut too. I don't know if anybody's made that, but it can be kind of like stinky. But it's it's fun to do those things, I think. And we made kimchi one time. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was really a great experience, because when you put that intention into your food too, it's so much more enjoyable, because you have a relationship then with what you're going to consume, relationship with your food.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And having that connection with your food. So, when you connect with your food and when you're cooking your food, you're smelling it. It gets your body ready to take it in, to enjoy it. And I generally have something, vegetables and dip, or a little bit of bread and dip, where you're touching your food. Now you're connecting with it. Same as when you're planting seeds and putting the seed under your tongue, that seed will grow specifically for what you need. And your family's generally the same, because you're all connected. But it's a beautiful way. So other things for the microbiome, a variety of foods. Don't eat the same thing every day. It took Chef Agat reminding me for that one. So I definitely take in more variety. Ask Norma, like, more for your microbiome.
As long as it's not got hot stuff, spices, and then for me right now.
Yeah. Good flavor. And does boron help? Boron can help. Get everything in a natural source. For you, I'm getting boron would be good, funky fibers, and same with the fulvic acid. Yeah. And to make sure that you do as much as you can some intermittent fasting to give your body that break. To give your body a break, because when you fast for total, is it 72 hours? If you can do a fast, and you can have something like this, you can even put a little maple syrup in it, because it gives you a little more energy and it won't break the fast. But giving your body a break from needing to digest everything, it starts to eat all the bad cells that are done, and faster, right? So you're getting this like consistent upgrade. Or to go on a broth or soup,
right?
To shift up the way you're eating, to keep it really simple. And so I said to Norma, we're about to do a soup cleanse, right? And just have softer things and take it easier on the body, and give it some time. And then it's easier to drop into a full fast, right? Because when you come off Christmas, there's turkey in my house. There's gravy, there's potatoes, there might be some shortbread, and maybe some mincemeat tars. And I just said to Norma, I said, I give it a week. So it's like a week by the time it starts before Christmas, the week after, right? And this lands really well with just on the other side of New Year's, in my opinion.
Yep.
That it's not a free for all. I'm conscious of it, but I'm allowed. Yeah.
Yeah. And the funny thing too is, like, even though it's been like party in my mouth, oh my God, it's like, but even I know that there's possibility, even you feel this, after a certain point, and you've had this, your body's going, no more, right? Slow down. The body's even like, I can't handle what used to be, in smaller. So it's like, but it's so good, but it's just like, I can't, it's so yeah, it's even the body, once you get to that place or that point, will start reminding you itself. That's the beauty of it.
Yes. Well, yeah, and I have a set point, right? I have a set point in how I feel in my body and how I feel in my movement and what I'm wearing, and I notice my mood. I might have been a little grumpy after a little too much chocolate gaming one night, and I was like, "Oh, that was like nasty." I was just like really sharp with my words, witty, but not kind witty. Yeah, and your body will tell you.
Our bodies have really been unmineralized, right? They are mineral lacking because of unless you're eating organic food or highly mineralized food. That's why we've eat so much if we're eating bad food, right? We eat so much because where the body's hungry. It's kind of starving itself even when it's eating. And so once your body becomes highly mineralized and it's at that point, it doesn't need as much, right? It can sustain. So
Yeah,
it's like your engine's running at high, at optimum health. And so we can speak, to our cells too. Thank you, cells, for your journey with me and for resonating with me in optimum health. And those that are not able to resonate in optimum health, I thank you for your service to the body, and you can retire yourself so that another cell can come and take your place and be of optimum shining health. And so that's really something, right? Woo, shine, let it shine, right? So we got to let that love in us shine out.
right.
And restructured water. So we could talk a little about that too. And we talked about talking to our water, because when our water gets into our body, water travels in a vortex naturally. So when our water gets into our body, it turns into either it stays kind of like water or plasma. And it becomes restructured water in our body and becomes like plasma because of that vortexual energy. So it's so important. I think water is another part that we can enter into that realm just by saying, thank you, water. I love you. Optimum health into my body, or whatever it is you feels on your heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everyone's asked, we've got a few questions about this. So this is fresh, cold pressed turmeric, ginger, lemons, cayenne pepper, black pepper, and water. To your preferred. I run mine a little hot because that's what I'm used to. Yeah, that's just how I roll. So, yeah.
I'm drinking ginger, and I think it's ginger, lemon, and turmeric too.
Yeah,
but it's not squeezed.
No, that's okay. That's okay. That works today too, right?
It's still yummy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
tell them about the beans.
Oh.
Wait.
What are they called again? They're lapini beans.
Lapini, yes.
Lapini. So somewhere I was reading about lapini because I'm not eating as much meat, and I'm like, I got to watch this protein. I was nudged, right? And so somehow these lapini beans came into everything. All shows up in my field when I need to. Lately, it's been all DNA, and that's going to be a whole show because it's been all about DNA lately. But the lupini beans are 13% protein. So Norma, and they come in a dry pack. There was 6 packs in there. We got a huge container out of one of them making, Norma Jean can speak to what she made, but making a hummus with it. And it was $40 Canadian for 6 packs. I'm like, that's really good value considering, right? So it's another more economical, but again, working on the microbiome, introducing something else. And she made it in with avocado, cilantro. What else did you put in there? It was delicious.
Yeah. It was avocado. It was lemon, cumin, and the other one you spoke to. I don't know why that goes that way. Yeah, and salt and pepper, and it was like magnificent. It was in the longer it sits, of course, the more the flavor comes in. And now for me, though, whenever I was making it, I ended up actually adding a whole avocado plus a half one, and it just all depends on whatever your flavor palette may be as to what you like. Because I even put a little more cumin in there to give it a little more of a pizzazz and stuff. So it's just up to your level as to what your palate likes. So, but I'm telling you, party in your mouth, it's really good. Just make sure you have a really good blender that's able to take it and make it of the, you know, the hummus texture. But it's like, pow! It was so wonderful. It's it's also a good snack if you want on, you know, panini bread or crackers and things like that. And it's a good quick way to have some protein.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Lentils are really good too, like for a bean. And then we used to do a sprouted lentil burger, and we would put oh, it was so good. So you sprout the lentils, and then you blend it, and we put a little like tamari, and we'd put walnuts in it. So we'd roast the walnuts, chop them up fine, put them in, and then what else was in there? Oh, maple syrup and a little coconut oil, and then salt, of course. And then you just make them into patties, and you deep fry them in coconut oil, and they're so good. And you can put like sprouts on top of them.
Oh, we're making some of those for sure.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, I bought some. Thank God, Chef Gat is in my country or my city and my country, obviously, because I've been buying sprouted seeds from her and sprouted beans. So if you sprout them and then you dehydrate them again, you've got more nutrition. They also don't make you nearly as gassy either. So it's
you could blend them into a flour then too, if you dehydrate them, right?
Yeah.
Or put them into soup or something. You know, right? Like because they'll rehydrate then when they go back in. Also, quinoa and amaranth are really high in protein too.
Absolutely.
So those I love quinoa now, and you know, it's a good substitute for rice. And when you start using it, it's so much easier to digest, don't you think? So when you change that in your body, then your body isn't like fighting to digest all that stuff. It has a break. And you know, and think too, when you come up, as the sun comes up, then you eat, and as it goes down, you maybe shouldn't eat so late, because it's harder than for the body to digest.
Yeah.
So give it that break.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and one more thing, I saw somebody up there put something about Celtic salt, and yeah, you can put it into your water and then water the rest of the time, but put Celtic gray salt on everything, because it helps bring up the minerals into your body that you're eating.
Yeah, absolutely. I also wanted to add in, Eckenbro's asking about, why is it easier to connect when you're fasting? Because your body's not weighed down energetically by digesting food. You're able to fly a little higher, so to speak, open your antenna more, connect easier. And again, I'm going to keep saying there's all kinds of free meditations over there on YouTube and my channel under my name. And there's one that I do, which you actually consciously shrink your lower 3 chakras, open up the uppers, open up the crown, because we don't, and you're grounded. So the first thing is you ground in. By doing that, it helps you to be more open without that base fear coming up or the base issues coming up as much. And you can do that. You're safe. You're totally safe to do that. It's how I operate now. I'm just like, I don't need those like wide open. You can also choose to have them all fully wide open. You don't need, that is your protection. That is how you're out in the world, however you choose to do it. So I play around with them. What do I need to do today? I dose. Oh, I don't need to do anything. Get outside in bare feet. Okay, no problem. So you just follow that intuition. I do breathing some mornings. And breath work. There's a really beautiful, gentle breath work that I've shared in the group. And it's not one where you're going to put yourself into a state of panic, because he keeps doing this breath hold and a release. So it's not like I've done some breath work where it's 40 minutes of breathing, breathe, 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 right? Which can become my fingers are curled like this, right? And that's just part of the process. But if you're sitting at home alone, you know, it's nicer to just do something a little more gentle with the similar effects. But at the end, what you're doing as you get into more breath work is you're activating DMT in the body. So it's a natural way of activating the DMT. Yeah.
Can you just put up that one thing that says, yes, that?
Doesn't that look good?
Yeah.
Yes, and herbs. Cinnamon has a beautiful thing, and the true cacao is very heart opening. And you can do green teas, matcha teas. Those are beautiful. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that sounds super yummy, actually. Yeah. All right, everyone got that one? Yeah. And deep breathing is good. Yes. Hey, Ada.
Prana.
Prana. Beautiful. Oh, you guys were wrapping up quite nicely tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love you very much. We're so excited to see the shift and all your communication with us and all your sharing and the ideas that you come up with. Margarine saying, I make my own bread out of sprouted millet seeds, quinoa, and buckwheat. Kudos to you.
Right?
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. And Robert, some green teas have fluoride naturally in it. So I doubt
Really?
take. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. But if it's I don't do anything. Well, this is my excess for sure. That is months of drinking this drink now, and I just keep getting told to continue. So, yeah, absolutely. Any parting words, ladies? Norma, Melzie?
Yeah, just go out and have a beautiful week. Thank you all for joining us, and I just really enjoyed this conversation tonight, ladies and everyone, and have a beautiful week.
Yeah. Have gratitude in your heart and pull those weeds and plant some new seeds for what you really truly want for you, right? And for the collective if you choose, right? So write that list and burn it out, get rid of it, and then, behave a new way. Sometimes it's just that little push of just letting go and realizing I'm perfect just as I am right now. There's nothing I need to do. I can just rest right now. And quit beating yourself up for not doing enough or getting enough done or behaving in a specific way or adding more things. Like, it's okay. You're perfect as you are right now. Norma?
Keep going. You're doing beautiful. It's a 1 foot in front of the other. It really, really is. And just always remember that this is about getting back to you centered. This is about getting to know who you are. It's a beautiful, beautiful process every day in every way. And it's quite profound when you hit a level where it's like, I get this. I get who I am. I understand how I'm here. I understand to the point where I can go back as far as I possibly can in my memory, in my remembrance of how far I've come in this journey and in this exploration. Keep going. Keep paddling. Go with the stream when you need to. Have fun. Enjoy who you are so that you may know how to enjoy who another is. Have a great night, y'all.
Yeah, beautiful. We love you.
Bye.